Today is 10th April, the Good Friday. The weather is just gorgeous, bright and sunny, with the spring in full bloom. From yellow daffodils to pink cherry blossoms, from the clear blue skies to the recently unfrozen lakes, the nature is in its full glory. It is unusually warm this year. In fact, the warmest Easter that I have experienced here in Sweden. It is not at all uncommon to have white Easter here, so this weather should have been such a bliss. But this year, everything is different. People are encouraged to stay at home and not to go out for picnic or to the beaches. Even the gatherings with friends or families are strongly discouraged. In Sweden, of course, nothing is banned, everything is open, and the public transport is running. But people here usually follow the government advice. Normally, we have an Easter egg hunt party in our garden with a few friends and their families. This year, we had to cancel it, much to the annoyance of my daughter, who really looks forward to it and just loves solving the treasure hunting clues. It is such a pity that we had to cancel it. Let's see if we can do it sometimes in May. In Stockholm, the corona numbers have sort of stabilized with about 40 deaths every day. Hospitals are busy but not overwhelmed. Now the focus is on the other big cities, especially on Malmo, which is expected to peak in the next 2 weeks. I really hope that the people will not flout the government orders of not traveling in large numbers and thereby will not spread the disease in the rural areas. Scandinavia is in fact doing rather well. Norway had just under 100 deaths and they think that they have contained it. Schools are reopening in Denmark right after Easter. I think the things will very soon reopen domestically and soon within Scandinavia the travel will also resume. But when will the international travel open is anybody's guess. The southern Europe is still reeling from the disease. Despite a month-long lockdown, Italy and Spain are still experiencing heavy daily deaths. Same in France. And the UK is under total chaos. Their tabloids have the guts to criticize Sweden's policy when their own shambolic system is mounting staggering number of deaths every day. But even in southern Europe, the curve seems to be flattening. Austria and Czech Republic have opened a few small businesses. At least people are talking about reopening, albeit cautiously. Situation in America is different though. With the maximum number of infections and the sharp increase of daily deaths, it is the new epicenter of the disease. As the poor have very little medical facilities there, things look grim. And their crazy president is arm twisting India to give the hydroxychloroquine, an unproven and potentially dangerous drug which he thinks can cure corona. Situation in India is very serious though, not in terms of the actual infections or the deaths, which is pretty low until now, but there the main problem is the suffocating lockdown. The total 21 days lockdown across the whole country have already coming to an end, and now they're talking about extending it by another month or so. This could be really catastrophic. All those poor people, the daily wage laborers, and the small businesses, how are they going to survive? This blanket lockdown on everything and everywhere could be very dangerous and is going to hurt the farming and hence the food supply chain. The windows for farming the new crops and the harvesting is usually very narrow. If missed, that would mean a lost season. Hence, they need to impose a restriction on rural areas very differently. Otherwise, there will be a famine after the epidemic is over. I'm talking to my mother every day. She is getting more and more anxious and depressed, alone in her apartment, without the domestic helps, having to do all the chores herself at this age. No one knows when we can see each other. For families like ours, who are spread all across the globe, it would be really challenging. Anyway, no one knows how things will be normal again. For now, I'm going to spend some time in the garden. That usually works as the great stress buster for me.